The hatred is beyond comprehension of such a big portion. Where the hatred comes from and why, we will have to determine. We're going to have to figure it out. We have to figure it out. We can't live like this. It's going to get worse and worse.
That was Donald Trump from a rally in South Carolina just last night. He wants to ban Muslim immigration until lawmakers figure things out. Look who's here. Former New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly. He's the author of the book Vigilance. Very well-timed book, Mr. Commissioner.
Yes, yes.
You heard what Donald Trump had to say last night. You were the police commissioner of the largest city in America. What do you make of his call to stop any and all Muslim immigration?
Well, whether it works politically or not, I think it's unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has held in many instances that constitutional rights extend beyond the citizen. So I assume it'll be fought out if he goes further.
But is he raising an issue? Is he voicing what may be popular opinion below the surface? Not on the parts of the political elites, but under the surface there. Is he giving voice to a feeling in our country?
Yeah, people are concerned. You know, San Bernardino is not exactly the center of the universe, so people are very much concerned throughout the country now. There was this idea that big cities were the ones that were mostly at risk, and of course, this attack has changed that. So, yeah, there is a lot of anxiety out there, no question about it.
To respond to that anxiety, would you have more surveillance of mosques, more intrusive surveillance of mosques, given your druthers? If you had the power to say, do this, this, and this, would you do that?
No, I would follow leads. This is what we did. We followed leads wherever they took us. If they took us to a mosque, so be it. If it took us to a synagogue or a church, so be it. There shouldn't be any religious sanctuaries that you can avoid a investigation.
Didn't New York City at one time look at specific mosques right after 9/11? They figured that those mosques were radicalizing institutions, and they picked on them and went after them and looked at them, surveilled them.
No, only pursuant to investigations. You know, it's people going to those mosques who were involved in suspicious activity.
Okay. Do you agree with me? Do you think that Trump is voicing a popular, not necessarily a popular opinion, but a beneath the surface opinion? You think he is?
Yeah. No, I think he has touched a nerve.
He has.
As I say, there's tremendous anxiety out there, and he's using that, and apparently using it effectively.
I want to talk to you about this $28,500 that was transferred to Saeed Farouk's bank account weeks before the attack, and also about these pipe bombs which were found at the house in California, which were timed supposedly to go off as first responders arrived. Well, they didn't go off. You're a first responder. They were going right after you. Or people like you.
Yeah. I mean, they were obviously out to kill as many people as they could. I find it very hard to believe that the family knew nothing about this. As 19 bombs. It's an 1,100 square foot house. The mother supposedly lived upstairs. So, I mean, that's pretty close quarters. A lot of information potentially was out there. People were coming and going from the house. As far as the $28,000 is concerned, there may very well have been a suspicious activity report filed on it. It takes a long time for that to be processed. There are millions of them every year. So, you know, I certainly would like to find out where that came from, and I think they will.
Big picture. Are you comfortable with our stance on domestic terror at the moment? Would you like to be more proactive? Go after them more than we are?
What I think we have to do is involve smaller cities, smaller law enforcement agencies. The FBI has a network of joint terrorism task forces, about 100 throughout the country. But that only covers, it doesn't cover every law enforcement agency.
Do you want more informers?
More informants?
Yes.
Sure, you always try to get informants. I mean, absolutely. And you get informants in a variety of ways. What you do is you look at who's been arrested, and you go through the list and...
But you've got a lot of people who are very worried. If they see something, they say something, and then maybe they get sued.
No, I mean, these things are anonymous. You call these hotlines, they're not taking your information. If you don't want to give information, you don't have to give the information. So, you know, I don't see any downside in reporting what you see as suspicious activity. That's what we need to do.
Is our system working to the point where Ray Kelly is comfortable with it?
Well, look at it this way. We had this horrific attack here on September 11, 2001. Up until November 13th, when this attack took place, we haven't had another successful attack here. So that's a long run. Though the system is not perfect by any means, but I think law enforcement has done a great job. The FBI, quite frankly, rolling up these people. Over 70 cases that have been made in the last 14 months, 16 months. I think that's a good record.
Ray Kelly, thank you very much for being with us on a very important day. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, 2 new polls that they tell you about. I've got to tell you about them. First of all, from Iowa. This is an Iowa poll. It's the Monmouth poll. This is Iowa. Ted Cruz is in front. 24%. Trump back at second place, 19. Rubio, 17. Carson, 13. Now, this poll was taken after, repeat, after the San Bernardino shooting, and it's Iowa. Now, here's a new CNN ORC poll, and this is a national poll. This was taken before, during, and after the shooting. Trump, 33. Cruz, 20. Carson, 16. Rubio, 11. Bush, way down there at 4. Liz Peek is here. All right, Liz, let's address the Trump issue. Do you think that Trump's proposals could give him a bump in the polls?
Well, that's what's been happening. Every time President Obama fails to address the concerns of the nation, as I think he evidently did on Sunday night, Trump gets stronger, more bellicose, and guess what? He gets standing ovations when he launches these verbal firebombs, such as he did in his last speech. This one is pretty extreme, and I think most Americans are going to say, wait, this is not the country I believe in. We do not have religious tests, etc. But people are also very anxious. And with all due respect to Commissioner Kelly, we did have the Boston Marathon bombings. There have been other things that have been going on, Fort Hood shootings, etc. This administration has failed the American people in terms of intervening and thwarting ISIS in Syria. People are worried that they're having the same impact here, i.e. they're failing here. And now we have proof of that. And by the way, in terms of refugees and people coming into the country, a Republican lawmaker announced yesterday that intelligence shows that these Syrians that are applying for refugee status in the United States, there is evidence that ISIS is trying to penetrate that stream of refugees. And it happened in Europe. People are going to be worried it's going to happen here. So
that shouldn't be a surprise.
Look, I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not condemning Trump. I'm simply asking, what's the view of the average voter? Not the political elites, the average voter. What is their view? We don't know yet because we haven't had a poll.
That's right.
But I got a suspicion. Could see a bump in those polls for Trump.
I think that's right.
I agree.
Okay. Welcome back, Ash.
And thank you very much. Good to be back.
Okay.